Welcome everybody to Open House, February 3rd, 2021. It's crazy that we are this far into our school year and we have been in this very unusual virtual world since March 13th of last year. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what's been going on in our class and give you a highlight of what happened last semester, what we're currently working on, so you have a sense of what's going on with your students in my class. And hopefully it will bring or shed some light on the learning that's going on in world history this year. So the very first thing I wanted to show you, let me share my screen really quickly. Is that every one of our classes is set up currently in Schoology. And from what I understand from Schoology, we are going to be in a situation that we're going to be changing our learning system, but this is the one that we have right now. So the first thing I wanted to show you is that back in the day, we set up our classes by week. This is from last semester and this carried on from this semester. And originally I had set up, even for open house, an actual Bitmoji classroom. So I wanted just to show you really quickly my Bitmoji classroom. It's not really clear right here unless you actually go to the link of where it is. So this is our Bitmoji classroom, and I set this up along with setting up the information for our class in all of our weeks. So if you actually looked in world history, the same thing goes with US history as well. Every single week that we did last semester was listed there for our students, and they could click into any of those weeks with their assignments for the week, what we were doing, the learning, etc. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Likewise, every Monday morning, we are required for the district to turn in Week at a Glance, which shows what the students are going to be learning for this week. And I have so far a total of 43 weeks. So in week 5, which is where we are right now, February 1st to the February 5th, our assignments for the week were working on trench warfare. In world history, we did a Treaty of Versailles DBQ packet last week, and the essay is completed this week. And then we're going to be doing a sensory journal related to what you see, smell, touch, feel, etc., going on to the senses that were going on with World War I. And then in US history, we just finished World War I. But really quickly, I wanted to show you what I mean by looking at something and explaining what you feel, what you smell, what you touch. So this is the video that the students are going to be looking at. And I just wanted to give you a heads up that this is where they're going to be getting the basic of the information for their sensory journal. So with my world history classes, this is the actual assignment that they're going to be doing, where they are going to be put into breakout rooms, going over these images, talking about what they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they taste, what they feel, what they touch, and they're going to be working on a group with that project. Now, likewise, this semester, we're only into week 5. So again, we have everything set up. They're all open to the students that they can go in and see if they have any late work they would like to turn in from week 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It is there for them. I'm also working on week 6 and 7. We have also looked at poetry and music as it ties to World War I and the understanding of World War I. In my U.S. history classes, again, we have all of our weeks there. They have finished World War I and have come up with some pretty amazing letters that they wrote to individuals in the future and letters they wrote to individuals currently, making them understand what is going on in society if they had lived during this time. So just to give you a few examples of the letters that were written. So all of the students were given an opportunity to write a letter to someone explaining what life was like living during that time. And then 50 years into the future, what would that look like looking back into the past, kind of like what we're doing right now. So it's personalizing it for themselves, trying to look at it in a different aspect. We've looked at the Spanish flu and the epidemic, the pandemic that was going on at the time, and then tying it to our current situation with our current pandemic. 2 other things I wanted to share with you very quickly of sources that we use in our class. So these are examples of the Jamboards that we have done in our class. This was one on Manifest Destiny. Our students responded to the actual painting that was there for them, including adding sticky notes and putting in their information of what they felt was significant, etc., to manifest destiny and the picture. In World War I, we had Jamboards for the 4 causes of World War I. This was done by my 10th graders in world history. So they had to include a sticky note on why they believed was one of the causes of World War I. Each class had their own Jamboard screen. And then in my US class, we had another Jamboard, which was tied to the letters and the epidemic that was going on, the Spanish flu at the time, where they were responding to questions. And then lastly, the last thing I wanted to show you was another source that we have that we're using in class called Flipgrid. Which gives kids the opportunity to public speak, to respond in a different way. And I just wanted to share really quickly some of the different Flipgrids that the students were doing. So for my first period, second, fourth, and fifth, we had Flipgrids on the Reign of Terror, where students would respond to being an individual during the Reign of Terror. And then you would actually see a video of them.
The Reign of Terror was a brief but deadly period. Thousands of people died under the falling of guillotine blades.
Diario de Reign of Terror, Luis 70. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it in Spanish because it's a lot of saying in English. So, El Región de Terror.
So that is our Flipgrid that we have, and both my US students and my world students are using Flipgrid as well. So hopefully that was helpful for all of you. And I hope to see you all very soon back in a real classroom. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. I do use respond to all of my emails. I use Aries Communications, and I have my office hours on Thursday. And then I also use Remind that the students have signed up for. So please contact me if you have any questions at all.